Wow. Have a read of that question. This is that's epic that someone's come up with this. Fun. So pause the video, have a wee read, get yourself comfortable what's going on. So the first bit, find the coordinate of the point of intersection of the graphs f of x and g of x. So where do these two meet? So that's quite straightforward, isn't it? We just have to put them equal to each other. So we're saying, well, where does f of x meet g of x? That's fine, surely. So f of x is a quarter x squared plus 3, and g of x plus 5. So we'll cancel them from both sides. Let's get our x's to one side, so I'll add on 3 halves. So that's going to give me 2 halves on this side, so I'll just call that x plus 3 is equal to 5. Move the 3 over, so take away 3, so x is going to give me 2. So that was nice and easy. So they cancelled, move that over, boom, x is 2. And it's just the x coordinate, they don't want the y coordinate. That's fine. So that means it 2. And if you read the question, this is nice and symmetrical about point 2. The next bit, calculate the area of the wall blank. So the area of this entire thing. So I want to know this area. And I want to know, and I'll just put a different colour, this area. Now these areas are the same, aren't they, because it's reflected. So the blue area is the red area. So if I do one of them, I can just then times it by 2. So that's the first bit. And I also need to know if it's the area between two curves, which it is between this curve and this curve. I have to do the top, take away the bottom. Okay, so first thing I would start off with is, okay, so for, here does that. I want to do the integral between 2 and 0, because it's between 2 and 0, of the upper, take away the lower. And that's with respect to x, so don't forget that. So what's my upper equation then? Well, that's going to be the f of x. So it's a quarter x squared. Take away a half x plus 3. And make sure you put these in brackets as well, otherwise the takeaways don't work out. And the lower is h of x. So it's 3/8 x squared. Take away 9 over 4x plus 3. Fantastic. So let's see if we can simplify any. So I can do, that's 3 take away 3, I can get rid of them. So that's quite nice, and that's kind of all I can do. I think what I'll do is I'll get this into 8s. Yeah, I'll get everything into 8s actually. That'll make it nice and easy for when I'm adding them together. So 2 about, and don't forget your dx. I've got 2/8 x squared. Take away 4/8 x, very good. And to that I'm going to take away 3/8 x squared, and it's take away a takeaway, so that's an add, so it's going to be plus 18/8 x dx. So it's not really done very much yet. Not even put them together. Here we go. So integrate between 2 and 0 dx. So I'll put my terms together. I've got 2/8 take away 3/8. So that's negative an 8 x squared. And I've got negative 4 and 18. So that's positive 14 over 8 x. Excellent. There you go. So now I'm ready to integrate. Now just remind yourself, x squared becomes 2x when I differentiate. So when I integrate, what am I doing? I'm adding 1 onto my power and then dividing. So just remember that all the way. Okay. So let's get ready then. So it's between 2 and 0. So add 1 onto your power. So that's going to be x cubed. And the negative an 8 stays where it is. And to that, I am dividing by 3. Okay. Sorry, not dividing by 3. Timesing by 3. Sorry. See, it's very easy to get confused. No, I'm fine. It's getting late. I'm being silly. Yeah, that's fine. Just divide that by my 3. What am I thinking? Oh, long day. So add 1 onto a new power. So that's 2. And I've got 14 over 8. And I'm going to divide that by my new 2. So let's just tidy these up a little bit. That's a bit messy, isn't it? So if I say I've got negative an 8, and I'm dividing it by 3, that's the same as negative an 8 change the sign and flip. So that's negative x cubed over 24. And this one, so I've got 14 over 8. Divide that by 2. So that's the same as 14 over 8. Keep that the same. Change the sign and flip. So that'll be 14x squared over 16. And I think I can do a little bit better again. I'll just simplify that slightly. I'll divide on the top and the bottom by 2. Let's see, negative x cubed over 24 plus 7x squared over 8. And that's between 2 and 0. That's a long question. This is the only thing I don't like about integration. It can sometimes take a long time. Look at this. But there's 7 marks up for grabs. Now, the first 2 are quite easy. Yeah, so 7 marks up for grabs. So we're nearly getting there. Now, I'm going to substitute in my 2 and my 0. So I'm going to say negative 2. And keep your negative separate because it is a negative and your 2 cubing is not negative 2 cubed. That's a very easy mistake to make. We've all been there. And take away, thank you, Lord. Take away a 0. Yeah, that will come out as 0. Fantastic. So if I do this, I'm going to end up with, I'm getting into a question. I'm just going to go back up here to give me some space. That's going to give me negative 8 over 24 plus 28 over 8. Okay, so that's the same as negative 8 over 24 and 84 over 24 times top and bottom by 3. 24, yeah, absolutely. So our final answer there is going to be 76 over 24, which is the same as 38 over 12. Oh, my head's starting to get sore, which is here 19 over 6. Oof, okay, so 19 over 6 units squared. Wow, and we're still not finished because that was this bit. That was the blue bit, so I need to times that by 2. Don't I times that by 2. So I times that by 2. Let's see what happens. So 19 over 6 multiplied by 2. I'm going to get 38 over 6, which is the same as 19 over 3. Wow. I don't know about you, but that was a lot of fraction work for me. Too late for that. So yeah, that's us done. I'm going to look at the marking scheme and hope my arithmetic is correct. Okay, so it looks like for the first one, yeah, knowing they're equal to each other and then solving, so that's fine. And the next one, I'll bet you there's most of the marks at the top, I'll bet you. So let's have a look. Know to integrate, tick. Limits, tick. Upper take away lower, dx. There's another tick, so that line there. And then actually integrating it, so getting to here, and if it's unsimplified, they said they would accept it, but basically getting to here is another mark, so the integration's another mark. So that's us got, but look at this, there's a lot already up there, that's 3, 4, and then substitute in your limits, you're getting another mark for that, the actual answer, and then times them by 2. So I'll tell you what, look at that though, 3 marks at the beginning for getting your limits correct, knowing to do the upper take away the lower, and writing your dx. 3 marks for that bit. That's half your marks for just those 2 lines. And then, the integration, 1 mark. Quite a lot of work for that, integration, if you ask me. And then your substitution. So again, 2 quite close marks. But I think that's quite nice. If you see a question like this and that's quite complicated, I'm not sure what to do. Take your time, think about it, don't stress out, and pick out all those small marks. If you did this first bit and here, you're getting 5 out of the 9, for just this bit. Really good. So don't worry if you're struggling and you're not very good with the changing the numbers, the arithmetic, the fraction work. If you take your time, you will be fine. But there's a lot of marks to get early on in that question from just taking your time. So yeah, I hope that was helpful seeing that. It's quite a nice little question actually. It does make you really just sit and weed out the bits of the question you don't need and really think about it. But all the way through there, I hope you saw I just took my time, simplified, don't rush it, lots of clean working. Yeah, hope that was helpful.